State championships this weekend in Tallahassee at Ken Riley Field at Bragg Memorial Stadium on the campus of Florida A&M University, and a coach that is no stranger to the playoffs and making deep playoff runs, and wherever he has been, he has done it, and now he's doing it at Bradford. And that is head coach Jamie Rodgers, his second year there at the school. And the Bradford is in the state championship game for the first time since 1985. And coach, appreciate you taking some time out of the busy schedule. I know you got a lot to prepare for here and coming up here in a few days' time. Actually, in less than a few days' time, as y'all will be playing Cocoa at 8 o'clock on Friday night in the 2S state championship game. But first, I know the atmosphere around Stark has been tremendous here the last couple of years, and we see it at every football game. You know, the fireworks go off, the touchdowns get scored, the defense has been playing end zone to end zone and sideline to sideline. So, I mean, what was it like after that coming back against Pensacola Catholic? Y'all were down 14-0 going into the fourth quarter to come back, go to overtime, and you had the nerves of steel to go for two, and you got it. What was it like there after winning that game to go to the state championship game?
I'm just probably the word I've tried to use the most, probably grateful, proud. Our kids showed extreme grit. Just to not one time did I see them pointing a finger. I mean, we turned the ball over so many times in the first half, and not one time did everybody say anything negative. It was always positive underneath the tent over there about. Well, defense was saying, let's just get the ball back for the offense. Offense saying, we're going to score next time. So I'm just so proud of them and the community, like you mentioned. It's been outstanding. I mean, those bleachers were completely filled, not one seat. I'm not sure anybody sat down from halftime on. And for us to be down 14-0 was a little bit uncharted territory for us. We did go down to Miami the week after Willie broke his hand against Oakleaf. The very next week was filled with a lot of trying times and a lot of adversity. And I think our kids from that Miami trip reverted back a little bit and knew that we had been down before. And they just kept fighting and kept playing. And the defense played unbelievable against a really good Pensacola Catholic had figured out what they wanted to do on defense. And they were just about getting in a big, heavy package where they were so much bigger than us, Josh. They were probably outweighed us by 50 pounds a man, something like that. So I'm just proud of them and the way they fought and the way they pulled out a victory for us.
No, absolutely. And your guys have been playing, and some of these guys who were on the team last year that got to the state semifinal game that y'all played against Cocoa. But I mean, Dejon Shanks, I think he's actually improved since last year. Jeremiah McKenzie, another guy, is showing a lot of improvement. There could be so many guys that we can name, but what is it about these guys that all year long? That have come together, fought through the adversity, everything that y'all have done. What is it about these guys that they want to put that tornado uniform on every single day?
Tremendous leadership from within our senior class, and these guys that they were leaders last year, even though they were juniors, mixed in with some of those seniors. But we've got 4 guys that have never played JV football that's in our senior class. They all 4 started since 9th grade. A couple years before I got here, Dejon, Torn, Khalil, and Chase and Clark, they've all 4 of them have played varsity football since the day they stepped on campus here. And that comes with, there's a ton of adversity that comes with that, playing as a 9th grader against grown men, basically, for a couple years. So, it's pretty simple when your leaders are the hardest workers. It's a player-led team. Basically, if there's things going wrong, the players inside the locker room handle it. I don't have to handle very much. Last year, I had to handle some stuff. This year, it's been pretty much player-led, and those guys have done a great job of leading us. And I got to credit that leadership with what happened on Friday night.
No, absolutely. And as we talk to head coach Jamie Rodgers here, want to mention that some of our coverage is sponsored by the Fantastic Fire Brigade out of there in Bradford County. And appreciate them sponsoring our coverage here this week and for the TOS State Championship game coming up on Friday night at Bragg Memorial Stadium in Tallahassee on the campus of Florida A&M University. And coach, just to continue on about your team here, I mean, you mentioned Chasen Clark, and he's been one of your big leaders on defense. So, I mean, when it comes to the defensive side of the ball, y'all have only surrendered 70 points, and the most amount of points you've given up in a game this year happened to be the game against Pensacola Catholic. So your defense doesn't surrender a lot of points, and that, for only very few teams have been able to score against your defense. So, what is it about the defense and then going against the Cocoa team that, is very stellar, both offense and defense?
Yeah, we've always felt like over the last couple of years that our defense could pretty much keep us in all the games until we got it figured out. Well, this year was no different. Started off in week one, our defense was really good. We knew we had something special, even coming out of the spring into the summer. But I don't know if we knew that it was going to be able to something to compare to last year's. But I think at times it's even better. So started out fast on defense. Defense carried us for a while. I'm really proud of those offensive guys. They've gotten better and better and better. Sometimes it was small jumps from week 1 to week 5, and then it started to get bigger jumps from week 5 on. And now we're kind of, both offense and defense is playing well. Special teams has been, we don't have any All-American kickers or anything like that, but we have guys that get the job done and take a lot of pride in it. So all 3 phases we've played pretty well this year. And you mentioned Cocoa. Obviously, we got nothing but respect for the Tigers. We got to compete against them last year in the state semis. And I mean, some crazy stat like 17, 18 years practicing on Thanksgiving or later. I read that, I guess, on Twitter somewhere. That's probably about as impressive as a stat you'll see in high school football. So obviously we respect them, but we feel like, that if we play as hard as we can every down, that, everything will take care of itself, and then we can live with whatever.
No, absolutely. And as going back and looking at the schedule, there's only been 2 games where y'all have failed to score at least 20 points, and that was the games against Baker County in week 1 and Oakley even right around the midpoint of the season. But other than that, your guys are capable of scoring 20-some points. But, as you said, you have nothing but respect for Cocoa, but Cocoa doesn't give up a lot of points. So how are you, when points are going to be at a premium Friday night, how are y'all going to figure, how do you figure to get your guys prepared for that? You may only be able to score 14 and try to win the game on that.
Correct. Yeah, you never know. A defensive battle is kind of what we're built for. So that's kind of what we do. But they're used to scoring tons of points, so that'll be a challenge all in itself. But for us, Dejan's got 32 touchdowns, so we kind of go with him. He's got 18 passing touchdowns and 14 rushing touchdowns. He's thrown 11 or 12 of those touchdown passes to Khalil. So as those guys kind of go, we go. Torn and Chasen have played a ton both ways this year. Khalil's played almost every snap that we've played. Khalil's almost played on offense and defense for the entire year, which is pretty special for somebody to be able to do that. So it's about our guys. It's about our playmakers, and then the guys that may not, score all the touchdowns, that our offensive line, I cannot tell you how much better they've gotten since week 1. In 14 weeks, it's the transformation like I've never seen probably in since I've been coaching. They're a really good unit now, and we were not very good at the beginning. So proud of them, proud of the offensive staff, and we get to play one more game in 2023. So that's what we're looking forward to.
Of course, a few weeks back, I got to see you win your 100 career game across your coaching career when y'all defeated Swanee in week 11. But now you're at 104, so 105 could be pretty special if you can get that win over Cocoa. I mean, at the end of the day, I was looking at it, and I know that your school district had talked about potentially closing school on Friday, but they're going to do a half day. They're going to kind of do an early release. But it's something I noticed that y'all are going to be doing is that you're going to be stopping by every school on the way out of the county.
Yeah.
How special is that? Because a lot of places don't get to do that. A lot of schools can't do that because of either their larger communities. But hey, y'all are a one county school basically. You get the opportunity to go see every school on the way to Tallahassee.
Yeah, I mean, that's incredible to be a part of a small community in a rural Florida. We'll get to. We got 3 elementary schools here, or 2 in Stark, and 1 down in Lottie, that are in the county, and 1 middle school. And we'll hit all those and make sure the kids are all out by the road, because what we want is for them to one day. We want them to one day dream of being tornadoes, and this is a big deal. It's a half day for all the schools. They'll come out on the road, and I think they got something planned down 301 on our way out of town, which will be pretty cool. And then that's somewhere around 11 o'clock, 11:15, and then then we're going to head over to Tallahassee, find us a place to do a walk through and eat, and then from like 3 o'clock on, we're going to try to do exactly what we would do if it was a regular away game and not the state championship game. I think it's important for us to just kind of be business as usual and make this as normal as possible.
And I know that, and for your guys here to go play on a college campus like Florida A&M, I mean, the opportunity to do that, that it doesn't come every day. So I mean, considering that you've already coached in the state championship game, when you were at Baker County, so what the atmosphere is like in terms of state championship games. I mean, do you feel like this is a much better atmosphere in terms of being on a college campus for the state championships for the first time in many years?
Oh, I love it. Camping World was really big, even though we had a ton of people follow us down there that day. It was still almost like playing in something that's a little bit empty. I think this is a much better setting for me personally than the huge stadiums. It's just hard to get that atmosphere that you want. But at 8 o'clock on Friday night, I think there are going to be a lot of people in attendance. I think I think it's a really good venue. FHSAA has done a good job of getting that taken care of, I think, and we're super excited. There's a lot of people that will be playing football for the last time on Friday night. They won't ever get to play again, right? So we talk about stuff like that with our kids. We talk about the importance of leaving it all out there, because no matter what anybody tells you, it's going to end at some point, and for most, it ends after high school.
Absolutely. And the opportunity to play the state championship game, that comes Friday night at Ken Riley Field at Bragg Memorial Stadium on the campus of Florida A&M University against Cocoa. And appreciate Fantastic Fire Brigade for sponsoring our coverage of the state championship game, especially the 2S state championship game between Bradford and Cocoa come Friday night. And Coach Rodgers, appreciate you taking some time out of the busy schedule, and we'll see you Friday night in the state championship game in Tallahassee.
Thanks, Josh. Appreciate you promoting high school football, man. Go Big Red.
No, appreciate it. That was head coach Jamie Rodgers of the Bradford Tornadoes sitting there talking to us about his Tornadoes going to the state championship game. Again, Class 2S state championship game Friday, 8 p.m. at Bragg Memorial Stadium on the campus of Florida A&M University. Stay tuned to FloridaHSFootball.com for more on here as we can go through the state championships right here